This case study is of the overloaded project manager. Elena's journey into the wild world of project management, where deadlines are tighter than your jeans after the holidays, emails multiply like rabbits, and burnout is lurking like a bad Wi-Fi signal at a cafe. Meet Elena. Elena is not just your average project manager, she's a pro at juggling. But instead of juggling bowling pins, she's juggling deadlines, expectations, and oh yeah, a rapidly expanding to-do list that could rival a wedding guest list. If you've ever found yourself staring at your screen, wondering if you need a clone, or at least a strong cup of coffee, you'll relate to Elena's story. But what went wrong? Why did Elena, the go-getter, the top performer, suddenly feel like a balloon being overinflated, inching closer and closer to that dreaded pop? Let's take a closer look. The problem was Elena's overwhelm. All of us have faced it at some point in our life. Elena's morning starts at 6 a.m. She's on her phone checking emails before she even brushes her teeth. She skips breakfast, no time. By 8 a.m., she's already in her office, where a queue of urgent projects, emails, and Slack notifications await. By noon, she's buried under 20 tabs on her browser, 5 half-finished spreadsheets, and the sense that she's just barely keeping her head above water. Her company? A fast-paced tech startup. Her role? The glue holding the team together. Her boss? A well-meaning but somewhat oblivious optimist who loves to say, "Elena, you're a rock star," as if that magically gives her more hours in the day. Let's break down what's happening here. What Elena is experiencing is classic cognitive overload. In simpler terms, her brain is like a laptop with 50 tabs open, all running on a battery that's about to die. And we all know what happens when a laptop overheats, right? It slows down, freezes, and then you're frantically hitting Ctrl plus Alt plus Delete like a DJ scratching at a record, except there's no party here, just chaos. The impact is how burnout creeps in. 1. Physical symptoms are observed. Burnout doesn't just affect your work, it attacks your health. Elena started experiencing headaches, neck pain, and felt like she was permanently on a caffeine crash. 2. Emotional symptoms also kicks in. Elena, who was once a bright, enthusiastic leader, now felt demoralized, irritable, and anxious. She started snapping at colleagues and second-guessing herself. The worst part? She felt trapped, like she couldn't admit to struggling because, what would that say about her as a leader? 3. Productivity declines. Burnout is like having a high-speed internet connection that suddenly drops to 2G. No matter how hard you try, everything feels frustratingly slow. Elena's efficiency tanked. Projects she could normally breeze through started dragging on for days. Solution number 1 to this problem is the 3-level task delegation system. Let's talk about solutions, because burnout is a solvable problem, if you have the right tools. Step 1 involved categorizing tasks into 3 buckets: critical, important, delegable. Imagine your tasks are ingredients in a recipe. Critical tasks are your main ingredients, like the flour in a cake. If you don't do them, the cake won't rise. Important tasks are like the frosting, it's still part of the cake but it can wait. Delegable tasks. They're the sprinkles. Someone else can easily handle that. Think of delegable tasks like picking the playlist for a team party. Does it really need to be you choosing between Taylor Swift and Drake, or can we let someone else be the office DJ? Action plan involves that. Elena lists out her daily tasks. And she categorizes them as follows. Critical, project scoping, client meetings. Important, internal reporting, documentation. Delegable, scheduling meetings, follow-up emails. Right away, she freed up 30% of her time. And that's just day 1. Solution number 2 would be Zen time blocking. It's a fancy term for setting boundaries with your time. And trust me, when you're overwhelmed, your time management has about as much structure as a Jenga tower in a windstorm. Break the day into focused intervals with specific, single-task goals. Think of it as turning on Do Not Disturb mode for your brain. Elena's new schedule was now this. 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., she was into project planning, critical. 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., she was handling team delegation, important. 11 a.m. to 11:15 a.m., she took a Zen break, stepping away from the desk, doing deep breathing exercises. And no, a Zen break is not just code for scrolling Instagram. This is about actually stepping away, so your brain doesn't feel like a hamster on a wheel. It actually takes a break. Elena found that time blocking helped her focus intensely on one task at a time. Projects that previously dragged on felt manageable. It was like cutting a giant pizza into smaller, bite-sized slices. Solution number 3 includes the weekly reset ritual. Lastly, let's look at the weekly reset ritual. It's simple but powerful, like restarting your computer to clear out all those hidden background programs that are slowing it down. 1. Choose a dedicated time each week. For Elena, it was Friday afternoon. Elena set aside 30 minutes every Friday to reflect and realign. 2. Review and realign your work. Elena looked at what went well, what didn't, and adjusted her priorities for the upcoming week. Think of it like Marie Kondo your workload, keep what sparks joy, aka what's valuable, and thank the rest for its service, before you let it go. The ritual gave Elena clarity, and helped her feel back in control. No more frantic Mondays wondering where to start. Elena's story is not unique. In fact, it's probably more common than we'd like to admit. The key takeaway here: burnout isn't about working hard, it's about working without boundaries, without support, and without a plan. Remember, burnout prevention is like maintaining a car. You don't wait for the engine to overheat before you add oil. Likewise, don't wait for burnout to hit before you start setting boundaries. If your to-do list looks like a CVS receipt, longer than it has any right to be, then it's time to apply these strategies and trim the fat. Your turn. Take a few minutes now to look at and review. 1. List your own tasks and categorize them using the 3-level task delegation system. 2. Then you create a basic time blocking schedule for tomorrow. 3. And schedule your first weekly reset ritual. And let me know how it goes, because the only thing better than winning against burnout is helping others win too.